So I'm sure pretty much everybody's heard about Baby Gronk by now. Some people like him because they think it's so impressive that he's doing what he's doing like it's so young, and some people don't like him because they think he needs to be humbled. And he's even kind of a meme at this point because everyone's been making fun of this clip.
Livy rizzed him up. Livy even hugged Baby Gronk. He might be the new Riz King.
Jesus Christ, bro, what is society? But no matter how you know him, he's really famous, and that's really all you need to know. So this might all just seem normal. I mean, famous kids really aren't anything new. But just like a lot of other famous kids, there's a dark side to how he's so famous. And the main part of that dark side is his dad. Baby Gronk's dad is an absolute weirdo, and a lot of creators have been talking about that, and here are a few reasons why. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to bring up is that Baby Gronk's dad is basically forced all of his fame. Like, none of it is organic. And what I mean by that is that he basically just DMs popular creators and kind of begs them for a collab.
None of the stuff you see of him is organic at all. And I know this because they messaged me asking me to make a video on Baby Gronk.
Now, you might not think this is a reason for him being weird, like this is just him trying to promote his son. But the next few reasons I give will actually kind of explain why this is so weird and why this is him actually kind of just like riding his son's coattails. His 10-year-old son's coattails, by the way, which I guess is nothing new from celebrity parents, but yeah. On to the next reason. Alright, so my second reason is where it starts to trek into really creepy territory. He basically forces Baby Gronk to say a bunch of weird crap on podcasts. This reason is far and away the most well-known one, with the New York Post and Daily Mail making articles about it. And it's pretty clear to see why, because he had Baby Gronk, a 10-year-old, I remind you, go on a podcast and say this.
What are you gonna do, you know, to stay sharp and keep your skills up if you're actually not gonna go through with middle school and high school?
Just work out.
No. I'm gonna get massages. I'm gonna get full body massages by some baddies.
Like, come on, I do not care what anyone says. Having a 4th grader say that, that's just weird. And the sad thing about this is that it shows how he's kind of taking away Baby Gronk's voice in a way. Because his original answer of just working out is something perfectly normal. And for an athlete like him, that's the right answer. But I think what we're seeing here is Baby Gronk's dad projecting all of his failures and what he wishes he could have been onto Baby Gronk. Like, show of hands, did anyone know who Baby Gronk's dad was before he had Baby Gronk? I don't even know his name. I'm just calling him Baby Gronk's dad. It's sad, and he is definitely a disgusting weirdo for doing this to his son, but it does not compare to the last reason. Now, do you remember what Baby Gronk's dad had him say in that last interview? Yeah, that and some other examples I have are exactly what I mean by this reason. Now, my first example is that on Mother's Day, Baby Gronk's dad had Baby Gronk posted up with a literal peace star saying that it was his mom, which it obviously wasn't. The post is either taken down now or I couldn't find it, but if you look it up on TikTok, you can see Baby Gronk's dad admitting to it in a podcast. And my last example is, of course, the allegation that he literally asked a girl who was doing a collaboration with Baby Gronk to take her jacket off because it would get more views.
So I was throwing the football to Baby Gronk when his dad told me to take off my jacket and said stuff like, it'll get more views, and telling his son how good I looked and that he should get closer. And I was disturbed.
Now, knowing the internet, there are probably going to be some weirdos in the comments that are like, oh no, she's probably just looking for attention. She probably just wants to get views from Baby Gronk's name, If you have seen and heard everything I've shown and said, there is no way you don't believe Baby Gronk's dad would do this. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that Baby Gronk's dad is a sicko who only cares about his own personal gain and just reaps the benefits of his son being famous. And those are all the reasons I genuinely feel bad for Baby Gronk and why I think his dad is an absolute creep. So overall, even though we've already established that Baby Gronk's dad is an absolute creep, the sad thing is I think he does have good intentions. It's just, it's not being executed well. Because I'm sure he loves his son. I mean, I'm sure most fathers do. Because I think he thinks Baby Gronk is just happy probably with like all the attention on social media, all the money, all the celebrities he's meeting, you know, things like that. But I think he kind of forgets sometimes that Baby Gronk is only 10 and he doesn't even know what he's saying half the time. Because I think he's one setting him up for a really big failure, which I'll explain soon. And kind of making him hate sports in a way. I think he's setting him up for failure, and I don't even mean this in a hating way, but his dad is only 5'8". Like, realistically, Baby Gronk is not going to grow that much bigger. Because basically his whole thing right now and his whole advantage is that he can just throw around other kids because he's so much bigger than them. But when he inevitably goes to high school and he's not that much bigger than all the other kids, if even bigger at all, it's not going to be that easy. And I don't think his dad is properly preparing him for that eventual fall down to earth that he's going to have to take eventually. So, I don't know, it's just going to hit that much harder. And I think he's low-key making him hate sports because in the likely event that he's not actually comfortable comfortable with what his dad is telling him to say, when he can actually start making his own choices, he likely won't want to do what he associates something like, you know, so controlling. But yeah, this whole monologue part is kind of just my 2 cents. I really don't know their personal relationship at the end of the day. And yeah, that's kind of it. I know I haven't been posting a lot on here, and especially not on TikTok, which is where I mainly post, which is why, to make up for it, I wanted to come back with a YouTube video like that I put a lot of elbow grease into, because I just didn't feel like it was right to come back with like a minute, 2-minute TikTok video, you know. And yeah, that's finally it, guys. Go follow my Instagram and TikTok. Links will be in the description. And yeah, have a good day. See y'all in the next one.